Hello and welcome back to Hair by Shonda TV. Today I'm going to be showing you an express blow dry where I don't really use clips. And what inspired me to do this video was a young lady mentioned in the comments in a previous video with the silk press that I was damaging my client's hair and whatever. But every hairstyle or a silk press or a blow dry does not have to be done the same. Some people use clips because they need them. Some people don't use clips, like myself, because I feel like I don't need them. You know, I just go right in and I start blow drying. So right now, I'm just detangling and picking. If you notice, I'm not just going in, brushing through the hair. I'm picking it, picking the curls apart. And for those of you who are probably going to ask, oh, does this work on 4C hair? It does work on 4C hair. You just have to condition it a little bit longer. Like this young lady, her hair is very soft, and I will do a 4C video because I have tons of 4C clients, so I would definitely put a 4C blow drying video out just on the blow dry alone. But if you notice, I'm just picking and lifting the hair, and the blow dryer is not anywhere near her scalp at all through this whole entire blow dry process. You'll notice that I'm just picking the hair apart, not actually brushing the hair, because that's what tears your hair up. Like, forcing that brush through your hair will rip that hair apart. But I'm just picking. See, I'm just tapping it. And that's what you do. You just tap it and separate it, and the blow dryer does the rest, you know. And then I'll do it like you see right here, I just do a couple of pulls of a hard blow dry. And that's all I really need is a couple of pulls. And see, already, it's already pretty much straight. And it doesn't have to be bone straight unless I was doing like a round blow dry. But this is not what this is today. So I'm just, you know, when I flat iron it, it'll get straighter. So you don't have to necessarily make it super straight. If your flat irons are good enough, like the Silk Masters. We'll get to that later. So what I failed to mention earlier in this video is that I did shampoo and condition her hair with Cass Elite Smoothing Conditioner and Shampoo. And this is not a silk press, so she was not placed under the dryer or a steamer or anything like that. I just put the conditioner on for about 3 minutes and, you know, massaged it through her strands and rinsed it out. So this is simply just a wash and blow dry, like, and flat iron, and that's about it. Nothing special. Nothing out of the ordinary, no fancy tricks, just a simple wash and blow dry. So if you notice, this young lady, her hair, all of the strands are pretty much the same length, and her hair is in great condition. You know, it doesn't take much. You don't, sometimes when you over condition, over use a leave-in conditioner, over protein, like that will wreak havoc on your hair. Just be cool. Like, your hair is going to grow. Like, you just have to make sure you trim and keep your follicles, your roots clean. Like, you have, you know, drink a lot of water, eat good. Like, seriously, I know that sounds cliche, but that really does work. Like, it really does work. And it may not work for everyone. Some people have scalp conditions, which may be hereditary or due to illness that you may have, a condition that you may have where you have to take certain medications, and the medication will thin your hair out. You know, so it doesn't work for everyone. That's the basics. But if you have conditions that may cause your hair to become thin, or, you know, make your hair fall out. And some, like I mentioned, it's hereditary. If your auntie and your mama and your grandma or your sister have thinning edges, most likely your edges will start to thin too. I mean, even just like men, when they have male pattern baldness in the top of their head, they, you know, that runs in the family. So, you know, it doesn't work for everyone, but it works. Now I'm near the end of this blow drying process. I'm just going through and making sure everything is dry. And I do have it on a medium set now, because once I have it blow dried and I start pulling through like this, I turn the heat temperature down so that, you know, I mean, because it's already pretty much dry. We don't want to over dry it because I'm going to add more heat when I flat iron it. So what I'm doing now is just going through checking, like, does she need a detailed trim? Does she need a trim at all? And she does need a trim. She could use a detailed trim, but we're not going to do that today. And if you want to check out my detailed trim, I'll check out the link at the top of the video. But I'm just going to do a perimeter trim on her. See, she doesn't need a trim really bad because there's no hair in this comb. We just want to make it look nice and neat. So I'm just going to flat iron it first and then proceed to do the trim after it's all straightened. Most importantly, it's summertime and you always want to make sure that your customers are comfortable. I had to take that towel off because I'm sure it was a little damp and I'm sure she was a little hot. So now I'm just going to spray her hair with this Cass Elite Haircare Hot Blocker Heat Protectant. You always want to protect your client and protect her hair at all times. So just spray it a little bit on there. You don't need much. And I'm going to also apply more throughout this flat ironing process. And right now I'm using my Bablis flat iron. People call it Bablis. I call it Bablis. I don't know. Bablis flat iron. I love this little flat iron. It's titanium plated, so it kind of keeps everything uniform with, because I'm going to also use my Silk Master flat iron as well. But I like to use a smaller iron around the perimeter so I can really get in and flat iron every strand of hair. Now, some of you may have questions as far as, you know, does this last? You know, will this last on my hair? It is different for every single person. If you're the type that sweats in their sleep or whatever, no, it's not going to last, honey. It's going to revert. You'll notice a little puffiness near the root. If you're the type that work out all the time, it may not last as long. And my tip for that is, if you're at the gym, wrap your hair up and put a scarf on and leave your scarf on. Don't just take it off once you are done working out. Leave it on for about an hour after you're done working out, so then it'll stay tight and dry, you know, in that in that tight wrap position. But if you take it out, that just leaves room for air to get underneath the sweaty scalp, and it will revert and poof back up. So that's my only tip for that. But if you don't sweat in your sleep or anything like that, your flat iron will last longer. And I'd say about 2 weeks. Most people come in every 2 weeks. Now, I've been doing this young lady's hair for like 10 years plus. We done cut her hair off, grew it back out, dyed it, cut it, grew it back out. So her hair always lasts. Now notice how much bounce and body her hair has. That's because we don't use a ton of products. Like, you don't need a lot of products. All your hair really needs is a good shampoo, a good conditioning, a little oil, and you do that before you blow dry it so that the oil kind of bakes into the hair. Because if you use it like right after it's already blow dried and then flat iron, it's almost like frying chicken. Like, it just fries. You know what I mean? If it's not a heat protectant and just a heavy oil, it's probably not going to be, it'll weigh your hair down. It'll make it oily and greasy. And your hair will naturally do that from your natural oils from your scalp later on. You don't want it to be weighed down and greasy right away. Let it breathe. Let it have a little body and some bounce to it. And I also recommend that you do a clarifying shampoo at least once every 2 months or so, or once a month, depending on how much you sweat and how many products you use at home. A clarifying shampoo will definitely clean and cleanse your scalp and your strands. I notice every time I use a clarifying shampoo, it's like starting all over, like the hair is super fluffy. I didn't do it on her hair this time, but I think maybe after the next 2 or 3 shampoos, I'll use a clarifying shampoo on her just to reset your hair and kind of start all over, because you don't want product buildup. Sometimes it's hard to wash out all of the moisturizers and the vitamin E oils and all that stuff that you put in your hair. And a clarifying shampoo will definitely get that out. And you'll notice your hair will be much shinier and much bouncier. And I just want to add that my blow drying method may not work for someone who's at home doing their own hair. Like, if you have a lot of hair and you need clips, like I mentioned earlier in this video, if you need clips, use clips. I'm not against clips. I just feel like it's a waste of time for me to, I just want to blow dry it and get through it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't use clips when I flat iron, but her hair is so fluffy and long and it's falling everywhere, I have to use a clip to keep it out of my way. So, I mean, to each his own. Everything works. Like my granny always said, it's more than one way to skin a cat. I ain't never skinned no cat, but whatever that means. But yes, there's more than one way to accomplish one end goal. So now that I'm almost finished trimming the perimeter of her hair, I am just going to comb through it and see if she does need a detail trim or not. She pretty much doesn't though. Like, it looks pretty decent. She's good to go. We're all done. And I'm just checking to make sure I smooth out those edges really good. Look, she happy, y'all. So this is what she requested, just a bone straight flat iron, no curl, no bends, no bump, nothing, just a bone straight flat iron. And remember, these are my clients, so whatever I record is what they request. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. You can come hang out with me whenever I post a video. Leave comments, I do respond. And be blessed and have a great day.